and I'm gonna make another little quick video. Along the way, things haven't been easy. They weren't. Being a single parent, trying to do everything I can on my own. You know, I watched a lot of my money. It cost. At that time when he was in daycare. My fiance at the time, she died. He was 13 months. And my dad was like, "Oh, I'll raise him. I'll take care of him." I'm thinking to myself, man, you ain't even my father. He'll do things to make himself look good to the presence of others. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're willing to throw me under the bus to make yourself look good, or, you know, I thought he was trying to, it surprised me. He was trying to get me to like sign my son over to him. I'm like, for what? Because he was trying to, he told me he knew people. And because of the relationships that he built with other people, he said those people would do more for Lincoln than I could have done. I'm thinking to myself, I'm not trying to use my son for nobody to do step and do that. He was like trying to use my son to make people feel sorry for me to try to get benefits. And I'm like, I don't do stuff like that. I don't. Even when it comes down to doing certain repairs on the house. This house that my father purchased was the house he told me he was buying the house for me and my son after she died, because me and her had already started. We had already bought the house. She bought the house. We had already started doing repairs. But when he got the house, it's like his attitude changed, and now he takes ownership, take pride of something. And he says he's part of a veteran group, and he said they'll come in and do all the repair. I'm thinking to myself, but some of the stuff you could do your own. Some of the stuff I know I can do my own, but he won't allow me to do certain things. I don't argue with him because of his age, you know what I'm saying? But it's like some things I feel like people take advantage of the system when they get a certain age, because I don't see some of the stuff could be avoided. Some of the stuff needs to be taken out of the house, lifted up off the floor anyway, so you can raise the floor in certain areas. Um, but when people take advantage of people to make people feel sorry for them, so they can reap some type of benefit, nah, I don't do things like that. I don't operate like that. But to see a person try to throw his own son under the bus to try to make himself look good, that's some of the conflict that I seen me and my father. Because I came back to build a relationship with my father. I didn't know my father. Me and my stepfather, he always told me he had his own children. So I kind of distanced myself and tried to build a relationship with my father. And at the time, Rocky Mount area was somewhat of a midway point between Tarboro, where my father was at. He was taking care of my grandmother. So that's how I come back down this way somewhat to try to build a relationship with my father. Like I said, he purchased a home. But, he told me he was buying it for me and my son. But then once he got things in his control, he used it for his benefits, because he saw he said he can get certain people to do things for him out of the relationships that he would build with them through the past, over a period of time, who would do things for him. I don't like to see older people take advantage of people like that either. My father has good clothes, but he'll go out and wear some of the bad ones and maybe feel sorry for him to donate them. I don't like to see people taking advantage of like that. I don't. Like I say, I don't have a whole lot. When I run short on change, I might ask somebody for $20, $30 if I'm out until the next day, so I can get back to the bank, because I'm away from a lot of my regular banks. I don't have no of my normal banks down here. And people like, get a local bank. I'm like, I'm just so used to dealing with the banks I've been dealing with for years. Um, Maybe one day things will change. Like I say, when I started my business, they didn't know what I was really going through. When a person's grieving, you can never tell a person how to grieve. And probably some of the people I was getting around with, or what people thought I was going, they were reporting back what they wanted to, not realizing they weren't telling the whole story. They weren't telling how they were forcing things or pushing things off on me, because I was, it made them look good too. And there were some of them were being paid to make me look bad under the table. And when I started my business, certain people were told not to support my business because they were told that I was going through something. They wanted to say I was going through battling some type of like substance issues. So they were told not to support my business. Well, yeah, that hurt my pockets. It did. But my pockets wouldn't have been hurt if people were not told certain things to make me look bad. No matter what a person does, my business, I was taking control of everything before COVID came. Because when COVID came, it shut me down. I was about to buy another house in Clayton off of Main Street. It was $120,000. It was a small home, but still, it was something I can go in there and fix up and own it, man. My mortgage payment I was able to handle it. But then COVID came. Even my mom was like, you might want to back off of that because you don't know what the future holds. So I stayed away from that. The price of that house went up. I think they ended up selling that house. They sat there for a little while. Then the market started going up. Then they sold it for $156,000. Somebody else bought it. But that was the house I really wanted. And like I say, maybe things happen for a reason. It wasn't meant to be. But sometimes I feel like some things that people go through in their life, people orchestrate, organize things, conflict around a person so they can control that person. And that's a form of witchcraft. It's like game stalking, like people go out there and hunt wildlife. Trying to control somebody's life to get him to navigate to do what you want him to do, that's working evil. Everyone has their own mind and their own identity to become who they're destined to be through the presence of the Lord. That's why He gave us our mind. But anyway, I'm not gonna stay on that too long. I hope everyone stays blessed. Read your word, feed your spirit, man. It feels good to be back, just to be able to make these little videos to get my voice out there, because people like to keep me in the house. I do the best I can to be there for my son, but sometimes like people try to, not keep me in the house, but try to silence me. They don't want people to talk to me because they don't want people to know the truth. You all be blessed.